Indian Coconut Butter Cauliflower. I'm giving my Indian Coconut Butter Cauliflower, a traditional Indian meal, a vegan makeover. Instead of chicken, I've used nutrient-dense cauliflower, and I've substituted rich and creamy coconut milk and coconut oil for the heavy cream and butter. The ideal nutritious yet mouth-watering replacement for the more filling classic form is this coconut butter cauliflower. It uses pantry staple ingredients and cooks in just 30 minutes. This recipe is therefore ideal for any night of the week. Cooking for other people is one of my favorite pastimes. Making a recipe that I know will be loved by someone makes me feel so fulfilled. I adore cooking for this reason, among others. I knew I would have to cook Indian butter chicken when my relatives visited around Christmas. One of my brother Creighton's favorite foods is butter chicken. The rest of the team enjoys superb Indian food as well. Nevertheless, a few members of the family favor a vegan or vegetarian diet. Here comes the cauliflower with coconut butter. Similar to traditional butter chicken, it features a creamy sauce and all the same characteristics. The cauliflower takes the place of the chicken, and the dish is organized by using creamy coconut milk. Along with being significantly simpler to prepare, it just requires 30 minutes of cooking time. In other words, it's the ideal formula for January. I tried to stay as true to the recipe as I could. Therefore, I first marinated the cauliflower in a concoction of coconut milk, ginger, and garlic. It's only a brief marinade to aid the cauliflower in absorbing the aromas of ginger and garlic. It's time to broil the cauliflower after it has marinated for around 10 minutes. I prefer to do this to start the cauliflower's cooking process early. Prior to being mixed into the coconut butter sauce, it also gives the meat a wonderful tiny sear. To keep the recipe on track, I prepare the coconut butter sauce while the cauliflower is marinating. The spices are the secret to any good Indian butter sauce. For a highly spicy sauce, I used garlic, ginger, garam masala, yellow curry powder, turmeric, and cayenne pepper. Although not in a way that is overbearing, it is comforting and spicy. Simply change the cayenne pepper's dosage to your preferred level if you're sensitive to heat. Coconut milk is the main key to my delectable Indian sauces, vegan or not. I like making Indian-style sauces using coconut milk instead of cream. In my opinion, it is not just creamier and healthier than what you may find in an Indian restaurant, but it is also just as tasty, if not more so. The flavors in the Indian sauce go really well with the coconut. When preparing meals with an Indian influence, I always use it. The cauliflower should be prepared by the time the sauce is put together. To finish cooking, simply drop it into the sauce. As you would expect, my preferred method of serving this is with steamed rice and a side of my handmade naan, which I've been making about every other day lately. Use cooked brown rice or quinoa if you want something a little more nutrition-packed than white rice. It was quite great when I served it with a little mango salsa, just a straightforward mixture of sliced mango, jalapeno, lime, and cilantro. If you enjoy a fruity hint of sweetness, which you know I do, I would strongly suggest it. What was the family's conclusion, then? Simply simple, no one touched the chicken version before finishing the coconut butter cauliflower. I'm amazed that everyone in the family, even the meat eaters, chose the vegan option. Each and every person adores this meal. Even if my sharpest detractors agreed that this was some of the greatest Indian food they had ever had. Even one relative who has visited India often. I believe it is safe to state that the recipe is a real success. Considering how simple it is, I'm sure I'll make it repeatedly. Cook sure to comment and/or rate this recipe if you make the Indian coconut butter cauliflower. Above all, I value your feedback and try my best to answer each and every remark. Don't forget to tag me on Instagram if you cook this recipe, of course. My favorite pastime is browsing the pictures of the foods you all have prepared. Ingredients: 1 big cauliflower head, divided into florets. 2 1/3 cups of full-fat coconut milk in a can. for minced or gratified garlic cloves. 2 inches of grated fresh ginger. Black pepper with kosher salt. Olive oil extra virgin, 2 teaspoons. 1/2 chopped yellow onion. 1 teaspoon of garam masala. Yellow curry powder, 2 tablespoons. 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric. 1 teaspoon cayenne pepper, plus or minus according to taste. 1 can of tomato paste, 6 ounces. Coconut oil, 2 teaspoons. 1/4 cup roughly chopped fresh cilantro. For serving, steamed rice, and naan. Instructions. Start by turning the broiler high. Use olive oil to grease a baking sheet. Combine the cauliflower, 1/3 cup coconut milk, 2 minced cloves of garlic, 1 tablespoon of grated ginger, and a dash of salt in a large bowl. Allow to marinate for 10 minutes. On the baking sheet that has been prepared, spread the cauliflower out evenly. Transfer to the oven and broil for 3 to 4 minutes, or until the edges of the cauliflower are just starting to sear. Over medium heat, warm the olive oil in a large skillet. When the onion is aromatic, add it and simmer for 5 more minutes. Cook for a further 5 minutes after adding the remaining garlic and ginger. Garam masala, curry powder, turmeric, and cayenne are added and cooked for approximately a minute, or until aromatic. Add the remaining 2 cups of coconut milk and tomato paste. Stir everything together, then simmer the sauce for 5 minutes, or until it slightly thickens. Add coconut oil and mix. Thin the sauce with 1/2 to 1/2 more coconut milk or water if it appears too thick. Add the cauliflower and any pan juices, then simmer for about 5 minutes, stirring regularly until the sauce starts to gradually thicken. Add the cilantro after turning off the heat. Add salt and pepper to taste. If preferred, top bowls of rice with the cauliflower and sauce and serve with fresh naan and mango chutney. Enjoy!